wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. We are actually sitting down to record another episode. Now, Laura, I was just looking through all of our stuffs, and did you know that it has been since the month of October? Okay, that was very improper English. We have not recorded an episode since October of 25.
I didn't realize it until you just told me, and that's crazy. Doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Right. So, mind-blowing to me. And it's not because we didn't enjoy it. It's not that we don't. It's not we don't like doing it. Of course, we like doing it. The problem is though we had a really weird year.
Yeah.
Starting, let's see, about the end of October. All right, so we got to go on this really cool cruise that these people. Ooh, man, let's try that again. So, friends of the family, people that Dad knows through the church, decided to take all of us being my parents for their 50th, all their 3 kids, and then the spouses, took us on a cruise.
And best friend.
Took us on a cruise over into the Mediterranean.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
We got to see a lot of stuff that we'd never seen before firsthand, outside of pictures and all of that. And then my dad had an appendicitis. Is that the right way to say it? He had an appendicitis.
He had appendicitis.
He appendicitisized. Wow.
His appendix ruptured.
Yeah, so that thing blew up.
Wow.
And it was really scary while we're on. Yeah, go ahead.
While we were out to sea.
Yeah, on a big boat in the middle of the water.
So
it was pretty crazy.
Told the captain full steam ahead or whatever they tell him, and got us to the port and half the time we were supposed to be. And
yeah, it was really crazy. So my mom and dad
tells Jared that his dad is gone.
Oh, okay. So check this out. So all right, I'm gonna try to, without building a huge story, I'm gonna try to share this, and it was really strange, and unnerving. So. Where do we begin? One night we're on one of the levels in this big, huge boat, and I see my mom, and I'm like, oh my goodness, she does not look like she's clearly distraught, and so I went to my mom. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And found out that my dad was really sick. All of this, he was down in the what do they call that?
Infirmary.
The infirmary. That's kind of a weird word, infirmary. I wonder what the etymology is on that.
He's in the clinic.
The clinic. We'll go with the clinic. So anyway, I go and I see my dad, and he's, not doing well. He's in a lot of pain. And so as I go to leave, I talk to the doctor, and the doctor says, yeah, come on back by in the morning, right? Because he's about to go to sleep. Everybody's got to leave him alone. He needs to rest. He's in a lot of pain. Come back in the morning and see him. So I'm like, sounds good, because the last thing I had heard before I left was somewhere in the area of 7:30 in the morning.
Yes.
We were supposed to be pulling into port. They were going to put him on an ambulance and take him to the hospital, right? So I get up and I go down to the clinic the next morning, and I knock on the door, and a nurse opens the door, and I think she was napping. Because you know how people have that fresh, I just woke up look?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, she was sporting this. And so I'm like, hey, my dad's here, and I know he's supposed to be going to the hospital this morning. I just wanted to come down to see him. And she says, oh, he's gone. Now, I imagine my face was kind of weird, weirder than normal. The expression on my face was probably what? And she's like, oh, no. I mean, he's gone off the boat. We got in early, and they took him off the boat. And so that whole thing was strange. So my dad's got things blowing up inside of him, and we're over in another country and all of that. And then we come home, right? And I think I got COVID right after that, if I remember correctly.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. And then there was the whole bat fiasco
Yes.
at this. So the elementary school that I get to work at, well, I mean, I guess it was a bat infestation.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I guess that's what you say, right?
Right.
And so that's really weird. I've never heard of that before. But
you were
then-
displaced, all the kids and
Yeah,
teachers
so
were
like all of us had to get up and go. We went to a local community college where they let us, use their facility, and that was really cool. But it is not an elementary school. It is not built
displaced.
to be an elementary school, and that was very evident. But we were so grateful for having that college to share their campus with us. But and that was all kinds of weird. But then, like on the news, not too long after that, there was another school. I think it was somewhere in Florida that they got a bunch of bats too.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of this thing. I guess it was the bat era.
Man, I don't know. I think it seems to be that the animals are trying to take back their land.
Yeah, they're getting mad. So that happened, and then what were some other things? Anyway, it was all just very, very strange, right? We took a trip to our son graduated from basic,
Yes.
yeah, in the Air Force, and then we're like, oh, cool. Now we're gonna hit the summertime, and we'll have some downtime.
Nope.
Didn't happen. As a matter of fact, what did happen, Laura?
So out the gate.
Right out the gate.
Right out the gate of summer, we took off. We got out of work on Friday, and we took off on Tuesday
yep.
to head to
Missouri.
Right. So we all caravanned up there, campers, RVs, cars. Nobody took any planes, I don't think.
No planes at that point.
No planes up there to see your grandma.
Yep. We
got
camped in a
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker
parking
Barrel
lot.
parking lot.
I mean, we've heard about it. It was the first for us.
It was interesting.
It was. It was kind of weird, but
Now it did not stink to be able to get up, walk out the door, take a few steps, go inside Cracker Barrel for breakfast. That was kind of cool.
that was
Like I would not mind doing that every single day of my life.
okay.
I mean, I don't want to live in the parking lot of Cracker
Okay.
Barrel, but I'm saying it would be cool to be able to just walk right out to Cracker Barrel. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyways, yeah. So that was about a week and a half, and we came back, and then went to Tennessee
We went to Tennessee. That was a good time
till you burned your face.
until I
off.
burned my face. Yeah.
Then we headed to North Carolina.
Let's talk about me burning my face a little bit. Okay, so this is really stupid. The dumbest things happen to me. I say they happen to me. I mean, I make them happen, right? I do something that is ridiculous and not on purpose, right? It's not one of those, look, I'm being goofy and weird and I'm going to do something silly and zany and hopefully you laugh at me. No, I'm just doing stuff. So there I was with my bullet smoker, 2 butts slapped on that bad boy. And let me tell you something. I was so proud of myself. Like I had found the injection I wanted to do. I had been basting this thing. It was things. I guess there's 2, right? What do we call them? Each a cheek? If they're butts? No.
It's a whole butt, right?
Better a whole butt. And this is what happens when we record after work. I'm tired. But that's okay. So here I am, right? I got these chunks of meat sitting in my bullet smoker that I had started many hours earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I started it with water in the pan. So if you're not familiar with a bullet smoker, you should become familiar. Probably more familiar than I was when I started using it. So you have that really cool drip pan. Well, my thought was it'd be really awesome to keep some water in there, to keep some moisture going, right? And I don't think that's really a ridiculous idea.
Right.
And so during the course of the smoke, I think that's how you say it, during the course of the smoke,
Okay.
I'm adding water, and yeah, it's sizzling and popping, but nothing scary. I get down to the very last. I bet it wasn't even a quart. Like it would. I think I can spit more liquid than was in that bottle.
Well, that's fair.
I open the side of the smoker and I go to drop that little bit in. Apparently, the drippy wet fat to water ratio was off, and fire shot out the side of the smoker and up my face.
Yeah, when you're in school, you always think that you're not going to use the stop, drop, and roll, but you sure did.
I did. I stopped, dropped, and rolled like a champ.
And didn't get any goose poop.
So there was goose poop all over, because we found this really sweet like camp spot, and it was right off of is it a creek, a river? What do we call it? Was it a river?
Mm-hmm.
A river. It was really cool, but there were geese everywhere. And if you live anywhere where there's like ducks and geese, you know those things are just like, they are going to just
They drop everywhere.
yeah, annihilate the ground.
Yes.
And so yeah, I jumped back, I rolled, and I didn't even get one single bit of excrement
It's true.
on me, as far as we know. Like I guess if it did get on me, we washed it off. Like I need you to wash. I washed it off later when I showered, but we didn't see anything.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, and so my hair's growing back,
Mm-hmm.
so that's good. No scarring.
No scarring. That
I was pretty fortunate there.
Mhm.
And then we left Tennessee and we went to
Meet up with the rest of the family in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Boone.
Mhm.
Actually, I guess it's right outside of
Seven
Boone.
Devils.
Seven Devils. Love Boone. We've been going there for years. My family has roots there. Good times. Did anything like? I don't think anything super over the top happened there, right? Except for Xander. Let's talk about Xander for a second. So, if you have listened to 3 episodes of this podcast, you are familiar with our son Xander. So now let me tell you something about Xander. We found that one of his gifts, one of his abilities, is you put that kid in a kayak and like he shoots around the water like nobody's business.
Mhm.
Like he can maneuver that thing, and it's like
Has since day one.
since the very first time you put him in one. And that's his thing. So while that's his thing, we've decided to try a new thing, and we got paddle boards.
Yes.
Now, the few times that we've used them, we have loved them, and it's like one of those, all right, so where can we go again, or where can we go in the future and pull out these paddle boards and have a good time? So while we were in North Carolina, it was me and you and Xander, my sister, and Troy, our oldest. And I think that was it, right? Wasn't it just the 5 of us? Pretty sure. Yeah, it was the 5 of us, and we went to a lake.
Yes.
So, Troy, now he has done this paddleboard thing for a while now. He's familiar with it, as has my sister. So, like, we're the rookies, we're the newbies. They are the seasoned veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And so we go out to Price Lake, big, beautiful lake. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Weather was great. The water felt great. So we get out, and you and I both have decided that we are going to we're going to learn to stand on these things.
Mm-hmm.
How'd it go for you?
Well, did a little bit up and then a little bit down and a little bit up and a little bit down. I stayed dry.
Yeah, you did. So, something we realized, and I think it was from a previous outing with the boards, is when it comes to being on the water, Xander's a bully. He is. Let me tell you what this snot does. So he will like tootle himself around in this kayak, and he waits for people to stand up on their board.
I mean, not strangers, but
No. He does it for family, which makes it even more funny because he is. And let me tell you something. Again, all of us out in the water, and he's like, he can weave between everybody in this kayak. Like, it's no thing for him. So, actually, before the time I'm talking about, we were out on our boards, and I noticed that, like, Xander was creeping up behind you
yes.
while you were standing on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turned around, and he's like,
Oh, pretending like he didn't know.
Right? Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm like,
No, like started
he's going to
paddling
run
the
into.
other way.
And I think he might have even ran into you once you sat down. But so what he does is he seeks out people staying on these boards. Back to the story. We're out in the water. I'm standing on the board, right? First time.
Mhm.
I'm standing up. I'm trying to get myself together.
And you're
I'm
doing
feeling-
well.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Next thing I know, thunk. And I'm over. Like,
Next
'cause
I heard just a splash. I was, whoa.
that bum paddled up behind me and ran into my paddleboard on purpose. Now,
Mhm.
this isn't like we were in a swimming pool.
Nope.
This was a huge stinking lake. And he ran into me on purpose
Mm-hmm.
and laughed.
Yes.
And so then he starts chasing everybody else. He starts chasing Troy. He went to go chase his Aunt Jessie, but she's like, "Listen, I got a lot better balance than your dad.
Mhm.
So bring it."
Troy
and he decided not
paddling
to.
backwards away from him, and he's chasing him. And
I was the only one that got knocked over. Me, Dad, the old man. So anyway, we finished that up. What happened after that? What happened after North Carolina?
he came home for a little bit, and then we took him to go see Bubby.
Oh, we went to go see Bubby in Monterey Bay,
Yes.
California.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good trip.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I did not
Beautiful
realize,
area.
right, just how nice that area was. Like the weather was perfect, and man, it was a lot of fun. It was good to see. It was good to see Brandon and I mean, we ended up over the entire course. So from the time that school ended, our last day, till the time we went back 2 weeks ago ish.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 67 days. We were in our own home for 31. It was
Not consecutive.
no, it was a busy summer. And so now we're trying to get back into a routine. I don't even want to say the routine.
Right.
Well, we're trying to get back into a routine because we haven't had one. Our routine has been go here, go there, come home.
And then when we were home, we don't want to go anywhere.
No, and then we have to get ready to leave it. So now we get to sit back down. We get to have a conversation, and we get to do some of this recording
Yes.
again. Which brings me to my next statement. Statement? Maybe. Let's see. So I found that I feel like recently I have this this motto has been kind of impressed upon me. One that I have decided to grab a hold of and make my own. And I would love for you to make it yours too, Laura. And here's the motto. Ready?
Yes.
I don't know. Tell me if this is a motto or not. Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering which one you were going to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I get that because so one of my other one of my special gifts is saying just some really weird stuff or like rewriting songs.
Well, I wasn't thinking weird things or rewritten songs. Did
Oh.
you have some other things that just like just because you can doesn't mean you should?
Yep, there is that one. That's one of my favorites.
So I mean, there's things that I just wasn't sure which one you were going
But
with.
that's where I am, and like, is it? I'm in my
Stop it.
okay, but that's what I'm going with for now. Okay, just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. Now, I'm not really a huge proponent of short one-liners because context is important, right? Because you can't just leave deep, rich conversation or topics to just one sentence. Okay? So obviously, just because you say something doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
Obviously. Where that comes from, though, have you ever had a conversation with somebody and they say to you, oh, I don't know. They say something like, one of the most important things to me in my life is to be organized. And that person, I mean, they can't organize a thing. Like, not even close, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you find yourself looking at them thinking, why would you say that? Because we all know it's not true. Just saying you're organized doesn't make you organized.
Organized, right.
Right? And I'm not trying to pick on people who are organized or not organized. I'm trying to make a point. And the point is this. Just because you say something doesn't mean it's true. Now, I can say all day long that I love Brussels sprouts. But if I never eat Brussels sprouts, do I really love Brussels sprouts? Or do I like to hear myself say, I like Brussels sprouts? All right, so if you're listening to this, fix your face, because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, who cares about Brussels sprouts, right? I can see the eyebrows raising through the speakers.
Even maybe furrowing.
Furrowing.
Raising and furrowing.
Raising and furrowing. Well, let's think about, in the context of IEPs, in the context of students with disabilities, in the context of special education teachers, right? In this world that we're discussing, have you ever heard somebody make a claim? I'll even call it a truth claim. And based on their actions, you are fully aware of the fact that that is not so.
Mm-hmm.
So then you ask one of two questions. One, do they really believe that? Or two, are they just lying, right? Those are like, and either way, I think a conversation it's a good conversation to have. Only because I think it's important that each and every one of us take the time to evaluate ourselves. And if we're going to make certain claims, be honest with ourselves and say, hey, is this true? Here's some things to think about. A parent who claims to love their child, wants the best for them, and specifically parents of special needs children, okay? But they don't do anything to get help for that child. Do they really, what's the way I'm looking for to say this here? I don't know that we question their love.
Right. No.
But the question is, do you really believe that your actions are a representation of that love?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you doing everything you can to help your kid, your child, to progress, to grow, to learn? Now, I know, like many times for me, it was, I just don't even know what to do.
Right, and I think that's a lot of times.
And yeah, and I agree. Let's shift it over to teachers. Right? So let's think from the aspect of special education teachers that claim to love their students and to want to teach their students and guide their students. Do you agree with me that there should be some fruit of that? Right? We can say it all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
There has to be something that you see,
Mm-hmm.
right? There has to be something observable when we make claims like that. And I know this all sounds very kind of vague and beating around the bush, and it's really not yet. Or it's not going to be. I don't know why I said yet. But it's an idea that I would really like to see us, at least in the near future, really dive into. The discussion of, just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. So how can we help somebody who says it and wants to be true, help them achieve that, to be true? So my thought is, for you, the listener, both of you, if you have any ideas or discussion topics that we can put together and kind of wrap around that idea? I would like to know what they are. Would you like to know what they are, Laura?
Absolutely.
And would you like to have conversations about that?
Of course I would.
Absolutely. So, we're looking for ideas. Second, what else do we want to know, Laura? Put you on the spot.
You did. And yeah, you did. We want to know what they want to talk about. What even some concerns that they have for their own students, their own children, which I guess is kind of the same thing about talking about.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe even some ideas of people that could come alongside of us and have a conversation with us in many of these areas.
If you have something to offer these parents or teachers or providers, I'd love to hear from you. Would love to pick your brain, and come talk to us and share what you know. And we always like having people that can help.
Yeah, we're always looking to learn. We always want to learn, and that's a good place to be. You want to keep learning, because I've found that the minute you believe that you figured everything out,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're about to fall on your face.
And
Things are gonna be.
and just because we do know a lot of people in this industry, I guess you'd say, not just providers and teachers, but also parents. And but I've come to find that you never know the information and knowledge that somebody might have that you wouldn't even think of.
So I recently had a conversation. It's funny because I didn't even think about this until right now. I had a conversation with a parent that was talking about how much they enjoy, much like you, Laura, talking about how much they enjoy being outside. I need to find water. Like, this person, much like you, is like, I don't even care if it's the beach or a pond, a lake, a river, whatever.
Right.
I need some water in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, wow, that sounds just like Laura. And it was a really cool conversation because this parent that I was talking to also has a special needs child. And she told me, it's been a long time since I've been able to go do these things because it's always been me and my child. I've got to take care of, I got to be there for my child. And she ended up finding some services for her son. And it was funny to watch her talk about this, because it's always neat to have a conversation with somebody and watch the light bulb go off, like
Mm-hmm.
when something. And she was telling me about how her son were getting these services, and part of the services was respite care.
Nice.
And it was like overnight respite care. And there was so many days per year or something like that. I don't remember the exact breakdown. And she said, when I first saw it, I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't leave my son and have somebody else take care of them, and not, and me just go do something, or me and my husband go do something, and then I loved the next line out of her mouth was, and then I thought, well, they've got him there for a reason.
Yep.
To find out, right? And so then she did start taking advantage of it, and it helped her recharge. So then when she was home with her son, she was able to give even more to him because she had an opportunity to recharge. Some people would really struggle with that, right? Like she did. And so her being able to take that time off to have those services and do that it helps her to love her son even more.
Well, we know how, I mean, we're fortunate and blessed because, Grammy and Paul, Xander's favorite place to go, and they help us immensely in giving us an opportunity, whether it be for an evening or an overnight or a weekend or even a week when we went to
Mhm.
Tennessee, and because you need that.
And so in looking at just that situation, no faces, no names, that we're talking about a parent who was doing everything that she knew to do
Mm-hmm.
because she loves her son. Not realizing that not taking time for herself in the long run is burning her out.
Right.
And so she's not able to give everything she wants to give. Right? So just because somebody says, well, I can't do that. I love my kid. I have to be there with him all the time. I can't. Okay. But is that a clear representation of the love that you say that you have? Right? Because it takes more than just you hanging out with your son or your daughter. There's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
And so just because we say something doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
And so how are we reevaluating or evaluating ourselves to make sure that we are in fact doing everything we can to best benefit those around us, specifically our children, or if you're a teacher, your students, and so on and so forth. Something else I want to throw out there real quick, and we're going to wrap this thing up in a little bit. If there's anybody that you've heard on any of our podcasts that you would like to hear again, to see what else they can bring to the table, what extra knowledge they have gained since the last time speaking with us, we would love to hear about that as well. Right?
Right.
So,
I promise I'm still awake.
with that being said, is there anything else you wanted to add, Laura?
I think so.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Again, you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, and I think we're on Instagram. And then you can always reach out to us via email at lifeintheieptribe @gmail.com. I had to think for a second, like, where is that? Yeah, we got to get back into podcast shape. So,
Yes. Our
until then,
brains are there.
y'all have a good one.